I've been working on a film project and it's been very interesting so far. First things I had to do was upgrade the computer because I noticed that some of the files that I upload to my video editor, sometimes they lock up, and I wanted to fix that. And so I spoke with someone I know who works on computers, and we upgraded the random access memory and changed the video card, and so I was able to fix that for the most part, even though I think down the road that when you're working with 4K video and things like that, it's just, you have to really get kind of super when it comes to the computer that you're going to use to, video edit the files. But at any rate, I think I'm good enough to go for now. Getting the footage was the next priority, and that involved working with my tripods and trying to stabilize the camera in the vehicle, and so I had to do a lot of experimenting with that. So when the time came for me to get the footage, I was all prepared and ready to go, and then I found out that there was a wind event, kind of a weather advisory that was cautioning people, about traveling around the Bay Area. So I decided to stay home, and I assume that that's part of the filmmaking endeavor, unless you're really looking for, unless you're looking for that kind of thing, then it's probably best to adhere to the traffic warnings and different things like that when you're in the process of traveling to get the footage that you need. So I postponed my trip for a few days, and I did more work with stabilizing the camera, and I kept going by the same spot over and over again a few different times with different ways of stabilizing the camera to practice going through the motions until the weather finally got better and the big day arrived. And so it was that I left town, and I entered into the Bay Area. I made a stop in Berkeley and noticed how ashen the skies are from the ongoing fires that we have in California, and so there's just like this ongoing grayness even around the Bay Area where it's notably windy, and you would think that stuff would blow away, but it clings pretty good. And after that I went up over the Bay Bridge, and that was part of why I had done so much practice with stabilizing the camera, because I wanted to get a good shot of the skyscrapers through the Bay Bridge. It's not something that I see every day, and so it's kind of it's a unique visual experience, and I wanted to be prepared for that. And so that's why I had done so much work trying to stabilize the cameras, and I felt like I did an fairly okay job, and I had some backup cameras to go along just in case. And then when I finally got into the city, then came the stimulation of the different types of stuff going on in the city, that it was really kind of a visual feast for me. And I was able to focus because I've been to the city so many times, and I've lived close to it for years and years, all my life really. And so I wasn't really too distracted by some of the other more tourist type visual locations, but nevertheless, having the camera, I was drawn to not only capturing the images of the subject that I was trying to capture, but I was also getting, pictures of the hills and the streets and just the different things that the city has to offer. And so, I just felt my mind being tugged into two different directions. But I got through that, and I imagine that's part of what a filmmaker goes through when they're doing this kind of work. When I was done for the day doing that work, I decided to go north because there's a camera store that I wanted to visit, and there's another location where I thought of getting subject matter. And by the time I was there, I was just way too tired to drive home. And so it was that I rented a hotel room, and from there I just took it easy, had a bath, and I hit the hay, and it was lights out. I couldn't believe how fast I fell asleep. Right now I'm vlogging from a hotel room in Northern California, and I'm like right in front of the freeway. Here is a shot of the freeway. With the off-ramp and everything included. The other thing I noticed about doing the work on certain kinds of documentaries or subjects, if you're going to choose a subject that can be difficult to kind of come to terms with, and you want to get footage of said topic, it's like after all the planning and the mapping and the test runs of the equipment and everything, then you dive into the subject itself and you're in another world. You're like, this is what I came to capture. And you just gotta kind of turn off your sense of being human sometimes, I think. Maybe that's what a war journalist has to do when he's trying to capture a battle and someone gets, someone dies right in front of them and they have to keep filming because they're trying to document the battle. Now, I'm not saying that what I saw yesterday was that drastic, but nevertheless, some of the things that I'm seeing are just, you have to double check yourself and think, did I just see that? Am I really seeing this? Is this what the world is today? And that's kind of part of the point of documentary filmmaking, I believe. It's about calling attention to something that is not only important to society or to me, but it should be important to others in the world, and that's why we make these documentaries. And so it is that I'm left with a feeling of kind of, is there any success doing this kind of work, or are we just documenting it for document's sake? And so I feel kind of a little weird doing this since I've never done it before, and I gotta keep trucking now that I've invested into doing the work. And I hope that it touches somebody in some way, to where at some point in time maybe this little tiny teeny contribution will add to someone's perspective to maybe promote even the slightest change in even one person's life. I don't know, but we can only keep working until we get the job done.